Hey, and Happy New Year. This is the first time I've been on YouTube for quite some time, so it feels a little bit strange. Um, so I'm going to wait for some people to come on. Hopefully, people get notifications because people haven't been getting notifications on my channel. That's why I kind of took a little bit of a break. But I'm going to be doing some hey Heidi, I'm going to be the energies that are coming through for this coming year. I'm going to be pulling some cards and also some Q and A's if anybody has anything to ask about this. Like I say, it's been a while since I've been on, so I want to make the most of the time that I'm on here. So I don't know, is anybody? Can you feel the shift already? It's like I say, 2022 out the way. Thank fuck for that, to be honest. I don't know about anybody else. It was the toughest year that I've ever had in my life. Like really, really was. So there's just this feeling of, I don't know, something has lifted. Um, Hi, Ali Pat. Thank you. I've missed you too, but I really had to just step back. I really had to give myself a lot of self care. I had to practice what I preach as well. Um, so yeah, it's been interesting. Oh, and you just happen to be up. Oh, goddess. Well, happy new year to everybody. And I'm not one of these that it's like, oh yeah, new year, new me. But I feel that collectively it gives us a chance to address and readdress, realign things that aren't working in hope for things that are. So, just before I start, first of all, I want to say that if anybody gets any messages on social media, it's not from me. The scammers are out again and messaging people. So, it's not me. I will never solicit readings. The only time I will tell you what I'm doing is if you're signed up to my website. Uh, so you get emails if I come on here or if I do lives on social media. That's where I will actually say what I'm doing or readings. So I'm going to get that little bit of business out the way first, and then we can get on with what's been coming in. It feels really good to be here. I don't know, is anybody feeling this energy? It's fantastic. So, so at the moment, we have Mars and Mercury going retrograde. Okay. This is not a good time to do anything new. This is a good time to review and reflect and rearrange things. So normally I start the year where these are my offers for the year, or this is what I am going to be offering for the year. And I have been told, no, don't do it until after the 12th of January. So, just to let you know a little bit, what is going to be on after the 12th of January, if anybody is interested, please email me. The email link is below to connect at Tanya Love Butter. This will put you on the wait list, and then you will be the first to know because spaces are limited for the work. Like I say, I'm really having to practice self-care within this as well. So, first of all, I will be opening readings up for the beginning of the year. Okay, this is the only time they'll probably be done this year. So, if anybody does want just an hour reading, please email me and let me know that it's for the hour reading. I'm being steered a lot away from readings now, and it's more the coaching. So, this will be a one off. So, if anybody wants a reading, then, it's there. Secondly, there are a couple of spaces available for my Alchemy of the Soul program as well, which is a 6-month deep dive. If anybody's interested in that, please get in touch. What I am looking at doing is doing a shorter one, like kind of a 3-month, where we're working as part of a group. Okay, this is how I've been told to do it. The investment won't be as much with this, although I will be investing the same amount of time. I've just finished my tarot teaching course, and a lot of the students within that found that it was very helpful to work as part of a community. So I will be offering the Sat Nav for the Soul course. It is still a commitment, and it is still a deep dive. So it's not for the faint-hearted, but I will hold you throughout the way. And then there is a community where usually people will make lifelong friends. So if you are interested in that, please email me with this and you will be the first to know. So that's readings, coaching, full deep dive 6 months program, and a group 3 month program. That's the only way that's going to be available as a group. Okay, so that's it. That's it out the way. Okay, what I was doing there. If anybody's interested, let me know. So, right, okay, 2023. So, 2023 is it's going to be challenging. Okay, I don't want to say it's all going to be great and all going to be rosy because nothing ever is. Okay, but it's year 7. Okay, so what I want to say with 7, and anybody who's been in learning tarot with me as well, 7s are always tests, but the tests that they give you are stuff that you already know. Okay. So when we have a driving test, we've already had the lessons to show us how to drive. When we have a test at university, it's because we've already had the lessons to show us the work or the knowledge or the wisdom that we need. So this year is going to be a bit about that, right? And I was sitting this morning and a lot came through. So I did make some notes. I'm going to go through this first before I start pulling cards, okay? So the first thing that came out within this is the Annie Nin quote: "If I hadn't have created my own world, I would have died in other people's." Okay, so that I feel is the theme for 2023. Um, this is quite harsh what I'm going to say here, but like I say, it's time to get the truth. And no one is coming to save you. There's no knight or goddess on a white horse that is coming to actually, make things better for you. And what this year is asking us to do, and where our challenge will be, is we have to meet ourselves in the deepest way possible. Okay. This is by taking away all distractions, anything that distracts us from going inward and actually using that compass, and seeing what it is our internal is saying rather than our external. Now, many of us will just take notice of how much this happens. Our mood can be affected by our partners, our work colleagues, our friends, our parents, people that we like. If they text us, then we're happy. If they don't, then what's wrong with us? We go into the spiral. Looking at things on social media and everything. Be aware of what actually can affect your mood, because a lot of times we can say like, oh God, I feel really down, or I feel really sad and I don't know why. Now the thing is, there is so much stuff out there that is constantly going into our subconscious and we're not aware of it. So this is a time to really start to be the gatekeeper of our mind as well. So when we are acting in accordance to our environment, what's happening on the outer, rather than going into our inner guidance system, this is why we can end up feeling lost. Because what we're doing is we're following the crowd, and they're all fucking lost. So it's like, all right, yeah, go this way, and they're like lemons. It could lead you off a cliff. So this is where we've got to be aware this year, okay? So I just want you to, in this moment, think about the conversations you've had in the last 48 hours, okay? How many of them have been uplifting? And how many of them have been full of complaints? Think about it, and really observe the language, the words, the stories that are from the people closest to you as well, you know. Um, and think about this. Is a really interesting one. I've been thinking about this the last couple of days. When somebody asks you how you are, okay, because everybody does it. Oh, how are you? But how many people actually wait to listen to your answer? Or how many people then go, how are you? And boom, straight in with their problem. Okay. That is not productive and that is not going to help us going forward. So, what we need to look at in 2023 is is our current life supporting the life that we want to lead? Because we all want different things. We all want to evolve, that's perfectly fine. It's great to be happy with you've got, but we all want to evolve as well. Or is the life that you're currently living, is this keeping you in the old patterns that you're wanting to break free from? Okay, I mean, this could be family, ex-partners, social circles, whatever. Are they building you up? Are they giving you that idea? I've had a problem. I'm not going to go into it because I am sick to death of it, but it's really, really came to a head the last few days. And I've spoke to a lot of people about it, and everybody's given their advice, and I'm taking it until I spoke to one of my dear friends that lives away, and they just came straight in with it, and boom, well, there's the problem, but if we do this, then there's the solution. And it was so refreshing because that was what I was feeling. But I was starting to doubt myself because of what other people were saying to me. You can't let people get away with this. You need to do something, all of that. And I'm like, oh, do I need to do that? No, I don't. I need peace of mind. So straight away, just talking to that different person actually put me on a different vibration where I was able to let this go, realize that, I sought out the solution rather than actually focusing on this problem. So this is what it's asking us to do. Look at the people around us or ourselves, and where are we focusing on the problem rather than the solution to it? Another thing this year as well, it's all very, very empowering this year, okay? It's very independent. That's what I want to say, not dependent on other people for our happiness, for our power, for our strength, or anything like that. It's independence. It's where we are standing on our own 2 feet, and we are happy to do that. We are happy in that space as well. We're not lonely, alone. We make our decisions alone. So, what it's asking us to do as well is to look at areas where we are accepting less than, you know, where are we currently participating in connections or situations that constantly leave us empty, disappointed, and also with the idea that we are hard to love. Okay. If anybody is making you feel like you are hard to love, then this year is put that away, you know, put that away, because if somebody else is doing that, you will find it so hard to love yourself. And this is where the key is this year. It's about self love, self care, self nourishment as well, putting yourself in the best situation. Like when people have children and they move houses so that they can get them in the best schools and stuff like that. This is what we've got to do for ourselves in 2023. We become important because everything else we do is a reflection of how we are. So, I believe we all have a purpose on this planet, and I believe we're getting nearer and nearer towards that. But if we are not the best that we can be, then we cannot be putting the best out there. So some people will say this is selfish, but it's actually selfless, because everybody else will benefit when we are working on a higher vibration. Okay. So this is where we have to step away from our excuses. Now, I want you just to think now in a second, what excuses are you making for not leading the life that you want to live? Okay. What is it? Because we've all got them. I've got them as well. But just notice where we're using that as an excuse. Oh, well, I can't do this because, I can't lose weight because I'm perimenopause or whatever like that. No, it's not. You know what I mean? It's the amount of bloody bacon sandwiches I've been eating. So, this is it. Look at our excuses and start to get real with ourselves as well. Step away and face the reality, because the sooner we face the reality, then our life will start to get real, and we will start to be able to step into authenticity and integrity. Because if we're lying to ourselves, we're lying to other people. If we haven't got in our life what we want, it's because we're attracting who we are rather than what we want. So this is where we've got to fine tune ourselves in order to get what it is that we want. So our outer is reflecting our inner. Okay. So this is where the work needs to be done on the inner. Is this making sense? It's like I say, I said it was a tough one, but it's not. It's great. It's just like, come on, you've had enough of the excuses. It doesn't work now. So another thing I want to pull up today, which I find is really interesting, and again, I'm finding myself doing it. So I realize just 1 year of being back in England, how different I now feel, like how different I'm now acting, how easy it is for me to go back into old patterns, but then start to feel how I used to feel. And it's like, well, no fucking wonder. If you're doing what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always got, you know? So this is it's quite amusing actually when you look at it like this. So I want to look at this time during the holidays. Okay, we've all had the holidays. Some people will be back at work tomorrow, or some later on in the week. Now, I didn't even know what day it was today. I had to check on my phone to see what day it was because everything just blends in, doesn't it? How many of you have struggled with not knowing what to do by having this time off? Okay. Again, this is something, please let me know in the comments. That's it. I like it when it's interactive. That all adds to the energy. But when our structure and when our routine and when our treadmill, like a little treadmill, is gone, then we can find this quite challenging. Yet we all say that we can't wait until we retire so we can have a life of freedom, so that I can relax, so that I can travel, so that I can lie and watch the TV all day, so that I can read a book. That's it. How many times do you give yourself a time just to read a book? Yet, I can guarantee, I'm not saying everybody, but I would say a big majority of people during these holidays have found themselves lost. They're bored. I should be doing this or I should be doing that. Okay, they don't know how to just be. Now, we are human beings, not human doings. And this year, 2023, is going to teach us how to be more. It's going to make us look at how we have been, okay, or how we are being, but it's also a time of just being, taking time to stop and smell the roses. Oh, because if we don't do that, if we're constantly on automatic all the time, we are not actually tapping into this internal guidance system. We're doing everything to distract. Okay. It's like, you have a really important paper to write and you start cleaning out your kitchen cupboards, because you're procrastinating with it. This year is not going to let us do this. So it's up to us whether it's going to be good or whether it's going to be bad. So, as I say, that I don't believe there's negative and positive. I don't believe that. But whether it's going to be challenging or whether it's going to be easy. And what we've got to do is constantly look back at ourselves, right? Is this me? Okay. Where is this me? What part am I playing in this? What excuse am I coming up with? So it's like I say, it's I don't want you to beat yourself up over this. Okay. I really don't, because I feel humor this year is needed, and I feel humor and fun is going to be on the plate more. Okay. Whether you want to take it or not, that's up to you, but it's going to be there. It's going to be offered to us. So just be aware and right, whoa, that was me. So anytime we feel that we should be doing something, okay, should is coming from the mind or the ego. Whenever I feel or I tell myself or somebody else tells me that I should be, that always means to me that I shouldn't. And I will stop it straight away, because should is there's a level of judgment there. There's a level of guilt comes if you're not doing it. And guilt is the furthest away you can get from God. It's an emotion that we don't learn anything from. Okay. So it's like I said, it's going to be a year of, do you want your life like this or do you want it like that? You know, it's choosing, because I believe this year is going to separate. Okay. And this is where it gets into the weird stuff, the really weird stuff. There are those who will and those who will do. There are those that won't, and there are those that say they can't. Can't means won't. Okay, I don't believe that there's a no, I can't do that. You know, that means that you're not willing to try. I won't do that. Okay, so there is going to be this segregation. And the ones that are doing and they're right, okay, I'm going to look at myself, I'm going to see where I want to go, they will be the ones flying ahead, and the other ones will be left behind, you know, just kind of like, oh, in their own excuses, okay, in like a snake pit of excuses. They're calling it there. They're showing me that was quite a brutal image. But they're laughing there, you know, because that's it. It's like in this snake pit of excuses, you know. So this is where we've got to we've got to look at, okay, it's not going to be hard and brutal and stuff like that, like what we've had, but it's going to say to us, do you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. You know, come on. I can't keep stopping to pick you up. You know it by now. You've gone through the lessons time and time again, and you're still going round in circles. Break that cycle, okay? And this is what we've got to do, because there's a whole new world waiting out there for us, which is filled with amazing things beyond our wildest dreams, okay? But if we have this plan, this little boxed off plan, we're actually not going, all right, yeah, that's where I'm going to. We're actually narrowing our what can come to us. So if you think it's like, yes, well, this is what I want, okay, and you're going towards that, the universe is going, but I wanted to offer you this. So, you know, it's like, are we open to receive, or are we that stuck in our mind that we are going to make sure we go in the way that we think rather than we feel or we're being guided? Okay, because this is, as I said, nobody is coming to save you this year. Nobody. However, spirit and the universe are going to be there to guide us, you know, as always. But if we're not taking heeding their warnings, or we're not seeing the signs, or we're not recognizing their patterns and following them, you know, we're going to stay behind. So this is where this ultimate trust comes in, that yes, the world is changing and we don't know. Okay, the unknown is often scary. But the way I see it, I said this to somebody last night, I am more scared of living in the familiar, living in the restrictions, living in the place where I feel I'm getting suffocated every day, you know, stepping into my masculine again, putting my boots on, my big heavy coats, things like that. I am more scared of that because I know where that leads. I've been there, you know, and I cannot do that again. I'm not prepared to. So, like I say, what is more scary? Sticking with your life exactly as it is now, you know, and how it's been, or stepping out of that comfort zone and taking a chance, seeing what might be there. Because if you don't know, you will never know. And you know, it's bringing into me this, you know, it's like, why think about it now, why do you want change? When I work with my clients on the coaching programs, and like I say, I am doing a group one, so if you are interested, please send me an email to be put on the waiting list. Why do you need change now? Think deep into your soul, feel into your soul, and why now? Okay, why? What is it you can't go on? Can you have another year of how these last 2-3 years have been? Then ask yourself, why are you not doing it now? Why have you not made a move? And just note, is it an excuse that's coming up? Is it real what is coming up when you're doing that? It might be. I'm not dismissing it. It's not everything is excuses, but most things are. Um, so why not? Why are you not doing it? And also look at why now? Why now? What is it about this year? As I said, I started this off with a quote by Annie Nin, and this quote has followed me throughout my life. And it said, if I hadn't have created my own world, I would have surely died in other people's. And that is still so true to me. So true. I think the last couple of months I went on numb, shut out, freeze. That's it. And now, it's like, wow, okay, this is what I've got to do. You find that fight again, you reset, you recalibrate, and then you remember why you put up with all this stuff in the first place, what it is you are working towards. So the thing, if you're not doing it now, okay, so if not now, then when? When are you going to start? When are you going to take this bull by the horns? When are you going to actively start going in the direction that you want to, regardless of fear, because that is where courage comes in. Fear never disappears. You can't tell me, I've spoke to people that have done parachute jumps 20 and they say they still get scared, but they do it, they jump, and that's where courage comes in. So if you're waiting for a day that you're not scared, you will be waiting forever. Okay? So like I say, if anybody wants to put in the comments there why you are not pursuing what it is you want at this moment. And there's no judgment within this. No judgment, no shame, no guilt. Nothing like this. It's an observation. And this is just to let us get in and see where we are in our own way. So this is a big theme for 23, the year of 23, because as well, so we're looking at 2023 as a 7, but if we look at 2 and 3, it's a 5. It just highlighted me to that. Now, those that are here that have just been on my tarot course, you will know that 5s are when we need to make changes. We've gone so far and we need to make changes because, we have the 5 of Cups, disappointment, disillusionment, the 5 of Swords. It's not worth fighting. This is a battle not worth fighting. The 5 of Wands, this is everybody else's ideas, coming in and clouding our judgment. And the 5 of Pentacles, where we are in lack. So 5s are not a good place, but 5s are there to force us to make changes. Yeah. So, like I say, this is what we're going to do, I love that. I still keep getting that image of this snake pit of excuses. So, does that make sense to people? I'm going to pull some cards now and see what these have to say. And does anybody have any questions as well? Like I say, I'm on here, use me while you can. Is he making changes? I went out last night. It's probably the first New Year I've been out in about 20 odd year. I don't usually go out on New Year, and I went out. I had a great time with friends. Like I say, I don't drink now, so woke up with no hangover or anything like that, and it was wonderful. It was different, and it's like, yeah, but normally I don't go out, I don't go out on New Year. No, that is an old story. Like I say, when you work with me, within the coaching, we look at these old stories. Anybody that's on here who does work with me, you know that. But you also know the results that you get. So, it's worth it. I am going to be opening up some personal readings, which I haven't done them for a long time. I am going to be opening them up, but they are going to be limited. So if you look in the link below, Chelsea, there is an email. If you send me an email there, you'll be put on the waiting list. And after the 12th of January, I will be sending emails out with opening my bookings, okay? But they will be limited if you do want one. So, right, okay. I've just pulled for this year, right? What have we got? There you go. Magic and the world. Look at that, you know. So, this is where we decide what world we want to live in straight away. You know, we decided we will manifest the world that we want to live in. Now, this isn't, there you go, there's the fool as well. This is fantastic. The energy of this is really, really good. But what we've got to look at is, do we want freedom or do we want restriction? Because every time we are stepping back from freedom, you know, like I say, during the holiday period, you know, we're lying and we're like, all right, I'm bored. I should be doing this. I should be doing that, you know? No, this is a time to reset. So when we're doing that, okay, the universe will bring us stuff in, or they're bored. We're going to give them something. We'll give them some drama. You know, we'll get them an argument. We'll do something like this, you know, because they're that used to it. They're not used to that stillness. So this is where we've got to be so, so careful and fine tune our thoughts and be aware of them. I also feel massively, massively, and I've just got this in my head. It's like my head has just went boom like that, you know, with this energy in here. We have to change the way we look at relationships. We have to change the way we look at masculine, feminine. Okay, I feel like somebody's hitting me with a hammer there on my head when I'm talking about this, because we need to look at each other to see where how we can make a plan to go forward. Now, I know people get on when I talk about masculine, feminine, and they talk about, you know, the other genders and everything. That's not what I'm talking about here. When I say masculine, feminine, I'm talking about the energies. Okay, that's it. And, you know, I feel people are smart enough to be able to understand that as well. Okay, so when I'm talking about masculine, feminine energies, that is what I'm talking about. Okay, and whatever works for you, then you take it as that. Okay, I'm not dismissing anybody, I'm not leaving anybody out, you know, I'm not wanting to offend people. If you're offended by that, then that's your bad, that's not mine. Okay, that isn't the intent that it's in. And I feel there's going to be a lot more of this year. You know, we've had all this cancel culture and, oh, offended, and now I think people are just going to say, you know what, if you're offended, yeah, that's your bad. You know, we can it, because what is happening with that is we're getting censored and we're scared to say certain things, you know, or we're apologizing before we even speak, you know, and people get offended. I get offended by dickheads, you know, I get offended when people lie. I get offended with, you know, stuff like that all of the time. I get offended when people are telling me that they're offended. But I don't go shouting about it and screaming about it and blah, 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 you know? So this year is about getting real. This is what it wants us to do. But like I say, huge, huge healing between the masculine and feminine. Okay. And this is where it's, oh, I've just got such a wow. I've just got such a shiver, a feeling right through my body there, you know, proper spirit hit. And I love that when I get this. And I feel that the feminine, okay, this is what it's saying here, you know, and I'm going without saying, don't shoot the messenger. The feminine will open their heart, because the feminine is meant to be receptive, okay? We're caring, we're nurturing, you know, we're comforting, you know, we're creation. This is the feminine. But there are so many feminine there that are in judgment of the masculine. I'm not going to be told what to do. No man is telling me this. No masculine is all of that. So what I'm saying, the healing is coming when we open our heart, because when the feminine opens their heart, okay, starts to come from their feminine principles of creator, you know, nurturer, compassion, you know, receptivity, then the anger or that is being held by masculine energy is going to subside. Okay, when somebody or something is feeling that they're being judged or attacked or blamed, they are going to be defensive and they are going to attack back. It is classic psychology. You look at it within any, within the animal kingdom at all. When we are open, this is why, when we put our hands out like that, it's to say, I have nothing. I am not going to hurt you. This is an open space. And when we can be receptive with another like that, we get so much more from them and they get so much more than what it does by coming with somebody with closed fists. I'm ready to fight you because I don't trust you. Now, if we are not trusting the masculine or feminine aspect, right, on the outer, we have to look at where are we not trusting that within us? Because we are 50-50. You know, we have masculine energies, we have feminine energies. And if we are disregarding the outer, then we are disregarding a part of ourself. And we can never be fully whole, aligned, or authentic until we actually own that, embrace that, and embrace that in others. Does this make sense? They're literally on a woof. Here you go with this one. So this is where the healing will come. And this is where the flow will come. This is where we can step into joy, because we now the illusions that we've been told, or the illusions that we've lived with, or the illusions that we have learned by our upbringings or society or whatever, they're fake. It's fake. It's not real. And this is giving us a chance to dig deep down into our core, okay? The core of the world, the core of each single person that's in the world, and actually kind of get that inner knowing and draw from that spring of sheer power. Okay, this is what they're saying here. And this is the choice we have to make. Do we want to stick in the old stories, not just personal stories, societal stories, all of this? Or are we deciding to walk away? If we decide to stay in the old stories, what I am telling you now is the reason that you do is because you don't trust you. You don't have trust in you and you don't have trust in spirit, that you actually have this deep knowing. You're preferring to follow the crowd or prefer to stay with how things are. Because if you have full trust in yourself, you know that wherever you go, and if you're in authenticity and you're in alignment, then life will be fair at all times. And what happens is we follow, society, who, like I say, they're like lemons. They're all lost. They're all jumping off cliffs and stuff. And then we end up wondering why we're disappointed or we're depressed. It's because we're repressed. We're doing what we're meant to do, yet our soul is starving. So what we need to do here is we need to realize that this is what's there. We need to integrate them two parts of us. We need to trust in our own power, and we need to go our own way. This is where we will come to harmony, and this is what the whole world needs. Okay? It's been going on years and people aren't learning the lessons, and it's like, for fuck's sake, come on. The sooner we get this done, the sooner it will be out the way, and then we can play and we can live in harmony. And I know that sounds really kind of Pollyanna, but that's how it is. Our world will be better. But first we have to see that there is a better way. And in order to do that, we need to look carefully and truthfully at what is not right. We need to rip that mask off. We need to rip through that veil of illusion that we have sat behind, happily sat behind, Yes, everything's great. Look at my life on Instagram. No, it's not. It's not. Go deep into your soul and what is it that you really want? What is not working? Because unless you address that, you cannot actually start to see what will work. And this is where they're asking us to move forward. You know, Ali Pat there, I've always been too much in my masculine to self-protect myself. That is not protecting yourself. It's actually hurting you more. It's actually hurting you more. Because in order to thrive as a human being, we need connection. We need love. We need hugs. We need to be receptive to the other. And when we're too much in the masculine, and this is what is so sad, is because the masculine is taught to be hard, to be cold, you know, violence, pain, da da da. That, you know, that isn't soft. And that's what the masculine is lacking as well. So don't feel for 1 minute that stepping into your masculine or, you know, is going to protect you. It's actually continuing to hurt you. Because if that was the way to protect you, that wouldn't even be an issue because you would be getting everything that you need. So often we put this protection up, and this protection doesn't protect us. It cuts us off from getting what we need. Does that make sense? So this is where we need, you know, the masculine is loving. The masculine is loving. The masculine is protection, providing, you know, it's soft, it's gentle, it's strong, but it's not hard. It's leadership, it's assertive, you know, it knows what it's doing. And this is when we can trust it. So if we can't trust in the other, we need to look at where we can't trust within the self. And this is what we need to learn, because this is the only way our security is going to come. Okay, as I said in the beginning, nobody is coming to save us. It's about us doing the work and actually going, right, okay, why am I struggling? Because most of the time our struggles are coming from, you know, which side of the coin that we're wanting to, that we're kind of, you know, or which side of the magnifying glass we're looking through. And we're meant to have abundance. We're meant to have contentment. We're meant to have happiness. But we're never going to find that externally. Okay? We might for fleeting moments, but it's when we actually go internal. This is where it's being found. And this is what this year is about. I feel this year is connected to finances as well. You know, if you think you're worth it, you will have it. If you don't think you're worth it, you won't. So there's some deep, deep soul searching coming in here. And I want to say there is support with this. As I said, nobody is coming to save you, but there are people there to support you. And Spirit are saying, the more you get clear on your mind, the more you will be able to break through this pain barrier, they're saying, you know, and get clarity and really start to see a future that you want, that you deserve, and that is ready to be served to you, you know. But if you're not asking for it, and if you don't believe that it's true, you will never get it. Okay, you'll stay stuck in that old way. So this is a time this year, I feel, to get creative. Okay, what is it you want? What limits are stopping you from actually believing what you want is possible? What is limiting you there? You know, because by asking yourself these questions, this is where you're going to get the answers. So that was quite an interesting one there. I'm just going to pull a couple of cards from this other deck. Does this make sense to people? Yeah, what's being said here? It's ridiculous how my figures have gone down here with people watching these videos, and it's like, you know, it's never been about likes, it's about life, you know. Yeah, thank you. It's nice to be on live. Like I say, I haven't been on for a while. So right, okay, this is saying that, you know, our work this year is to free ourselves from the cage that isn't even locked, okay? To actually actively open our heart to go forward, to forget any disappointments that we've had. Any disappointments have been redirections, okay? They're not rejections. Anything that has disappointed us in the past that hasn't worked out, wasn't meant to work out. Look at the lesson within that, okay? Stop waiting to feel undisappointed. If you don't want to feel disappointed, don't. That's it. There's no like, oh, well, this will eventually. No, there's not. It's choose now. The second you say to yourself, oh, well, they disappointed me, yeah, they taught me. Just change it. That's what we need to do. Just change that thought pattern all the time. This is where we will start to heal. But, this is, I'm going, that's a bit harsh there. What they're saying here is, if you truly, truly want to heal, you have to give up that which has made you sick. Okay? That stings. That really lands. It's like, oof. Are you ready to give that up? Are you ready to give up that victimhood? That thing that happened to you, that all of that. Are you ready to give that up in order to heal? Because a lot of times we cling to these old stories. We cling to them because they make us who we are. If people feel sorry for us, then, they'll be nicer to us. If people think we've had a terrible life, then they won't be nasty to us. They will think we're brave, we're resilient, we're all of this. We have this in our head where we start to actually use our disappointments or use our stories as our identity, and that is not who we are. That is not who we are. That is just things that happen to us. And there are many people out there who have had horrific things happen to them, and they have used that as a way to go in the opposite way, to really push themselves forward and to not let that define them. Okay, so that is the question that I feel is coming up here. If you truly, truly want to heal, are you prepared to give up that which made you sick? And this is all of the excuses, well, my family done this to me, my dad didn't love me, my mom didn't love me, my husband cheated on me, my wife ran off with my best friend, all of these things that we're using to define who we are. So let them all go, because that is us living in the old story, and it's not living in truth. These things happened, but they do not make us a victim. Okay, when we're a victim, we cannot be a victor. When we're a victim, there's somebody took something from us. When we are a victor, we're saying somebody done this, but I took my power straight back with that. And that is one of the most loving things that you can do for the self. This is the fight that we need to stop. Okay? And how does this feel? How does this feel? Like, stepping into your own power is scary, isn't it? It's easier to see your flaws and to mention your flaws and stuff like that. But, that's not going to help you heal. It's going to keep you being sick. It's almost like Munchausen syndrome, There's always something wrong rather than there's always things right. So does anybody have any questions? And then I'm going to go into the elements and read for them. Everybody's so quiet today. Is this how it is? Is this how it is? Come on, it's a new year. We've got rid of 2022. The shittest year of the year ever. Right. Okay, if nobody's speaking, Have a boss that acts like a rooster. How can I overcome his energy? So he acts like a rooster, so there is something about him that is insecure. So to overcome his energy, um, is to see this as he's an insecure person that needs this kind of to be the cock of the north kind of thing. I once dated a guy in Spain, and he was crazy, and people called him Pavo Regal, and it was the turkey who think no, the turkey who thinks he's a peacock. And I thought that was really, really funny. So, what I would say with this is don't battle him, okay? And see him as maybe try and see him as a small child who doesn't feel safe, and think about how would you treat a small child in that situation that doesn't feel safe, okay? Don't make this a drama. See it, if you think you need to act up on it, then, if he's acting up, it's, what can I do to make this better? It's not actually buying into this because he is the one that's insecure with this, and see it as that. It's not coming from a place of strength or a place of power. It's coming from a place of insecurity. you know so that's it. See him with compassion, and see him as somebody that's hurt, that feels this need to do that, and I feel that will help massively. Okay, thank you, and thank you for that, Lisa. uh, right, okay, I just want to say there to, is it Najma? I'm sorry that that's happened to you, but if we try and rephrase that, where you've put there, but he did it for me by just abandoning me, you know, could you change that to actually say, he let me go rather than abandon? The word abandon, it's within my coaching, we speak a lot about the words that we use. So, this word abandon, it's horrible. I was abandoned. I was thrown out in the street, an abandoned child, an abandoned baby, something just left there. Now, there is always a reason why people do stuff. It's not good, it's not always great. But by saying, I have been abandoned, what you could actually change that to is, this guy or whatever could not commit to me in the way that I wanted. So he let me go. He freed me up to find something that could. So it's saying exactly the same thing, but this abandon, that is kind of, as I mentioned before, victim speak. And I'm not victim blaming there. I'm just saying, be aware of how we speak about things. I have no explanation on why he acted like you were strangers. To him, that is how he's reacted to something, you know and yes, on Christmas Day, terrible. I've had that myself on Christmas Day. It's not good, but it's how far do we want to go down and see how harsh this is, because it is what it is, and it's not good and it's not nice. But by going into all these terrible things of it, you know, is taking you more and more into that place where your power is being given away. So trying to look at it as, wow, somebody that could do that on Christmas Day and just ignore me after 8 years and stuff like that, that is not who you want to be around. It's what I've just said in the beginning of this. People that are making you feel less than, that are making you feel that you're hard to love, you can't have them around. So claim your power back within this, and see that you have been freed. Grieve it, because you've got to grieve it. This is the problem. I don't say just forget it, and, grieve it without putting the story onto it. Does that make sense? Because that's it. We need to feel our feelings, but the more we try and villainize or, how hard we've had it done to, the harder it is to get us out of it. So, I'm not challenging you or not being nasty to you here. I'm actually loving you with it because, it's if somebody had said that to me and told me that and I understood it then, it would have been a lot easier to heal. You know, this person has done you a favor. And sometimes on a soul level, this is what happens. The ones that hurt us most give us the biggest lessons. So, try and say thank you. Thank you for showing me who you were. And so I'm not going to spend another 8 years, you know, and try and come from that place of gratitude for what has happened, rather than that victimhood, and you will get through it a lot better and you will claim your power back. Okay? And it's hard and it's shitty and it's horrible at this time of year. I'm not dismissing that at all, but it's showing you exactly what more do you need to see. That veil of illusion's been ripped away, and now you can see the reality. This is when you can start to get real within life as well. Okay? Right. So I'm going to go in with... Ooh, here you go. Who's starting? Right, okay. Going to start with fire signs. Okay? So, fire signs. This could be your year. I love this. I love it. It's always, this is going to be my year. This is going to be my year. No. Oh, right. Hold on, Spirit. I want they're coming through very... Right. Okay. Right. So what they're saying is this could be your year, but you've got to make changes. Now, when we look at fire signs are always the drive, they're full powered, it's Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo, so they're woof. So what they're saying here is that, yes, fire signs like to succeed, okay? They like to be the winner. They like to get the recognition. They like all of that. But what they're saying is this year, it's going to be different. The old ways of doing stuff are not going to work for fire signs. It's not about being the biggest, strongest, best, da. That's not going to get us where we want to be or get them where they want to be. This is about really dropping into the heart, okay? Like I say, fire is usually that fire in the belly, come on, that passion, that whatever. This is softening it, really getting into that soft space, that receptive space, that soft space. For some reason, I don't know why they're showing me this. They're showing me like bread being molded. It's like one of them videos that you get on Instagram that you just watch for hours. I do that all the time. But it's like, the more things can be molded and the more soft they are, it's easier than being hard, So this is what it's saying to you, to try and manifest from the heart rather than the ambition. Okay? Because the ambition is going to bring problems, and it's going to be like a fight. If you do it from the heart, it's going to be easier. You can step out of warrior mode. You can step out of warrior mode. You don't have to fight your way through life. Okay, you can communicate with people better. You can actually get a better reception from people when you are loving them rather than when you are fighting them. This is the work that it's wanting you to do. It's asking you as well, fire signs, to really go in and see what is the cause of your anger? What is the cause of your need for security? Where is it you don't feel safe? um, and actually start to address that. But what I'm seeing for fire signs here is a much softer approach. If we think from roaring fire to a lovely candle, nice soft candle, that is what I'm seeing here. And I feel that there will be a lot more ideas come, and you will be a lot more successful than you ever have been by taking this softer approach. Okay, this is the changes that are coming in for you this year. I feel you could meet some people that will show you this. Okay, you will. So it's almost like you learn by example. I feel there's a lot of earthly energy coming around. So it's like, I want to use this as an example. Okay, when I went to live in Brazil, I lived on a little island, and the people there didn't have a lot. Okay, um, these people lived richer lives than I'd ever lived. I mean, I've mixed with a lot of different people from all walks of life. I've been up with the stars. I've been, down with them on the gutter. And what I found in Brazil was that these people taught me how to really live a rich life, because it wasn't about money. There was a groundedness, there was a sharing, wasn't about winning, it was about like kind of willing. It was, everybody's welcome. They welcomed me into their home. They welcomed me into my family. The first message I got last night at New Year was from Brazil. So this was showing me the people who had less, were giving more. And I felt I was receiving more within this space. And that is what it's talking about with this fire energy this year. Okay. It's not about a fight to see who's got the most, who's got the mostest, and who can hold on, who's got the most money in the bank. It's like, who has healed the most and who is willing to be vulnerable, to be receptive. So vulnerability, I feel, for fire signs is like, is all going to be going, oh, that one hurt, But I feel that is key this year for you. Okay. This is where your shadow is, really shadow. And what I feel with this is that it's going to bring up a lot of old pain, okay, that's still there for fire signs. However, I would say with this, I would recommend getting therapy. I would recommend speaking to somebody. I would recommend RTT. RTT is an amazing, quick therapy that goes in EDMR as well. All of these things that can help you to feel fully safe in who you are, rather than actually on what you've got or how strong and powerful you are, how many walls you can knock down. It's not that. It's not how many walls you can knock down. It's about how many people you let in around that wall. So this is your long term. Okay, don't make a drama out of it. That's in there. Drama. This isn't about drama. Okay, this is Dharma. Don't shut down to it. Open up to this, and you will realize that you will be successful in a way that you can't just get with money. Okay, so hope that makes sense. Fire signs. Right, so everybody's getting dumped off fire signs, are they? See it as a sign. See it as a sign. It's, right, okay, so this is fire. So who are we on to now? I'm going to do water now. Water. What is water? I want to see what they say for Earth signs here, you know, because I need to be on the road again, and I don't know where to go. I've been looking at Albania and Greece and Ibiza again, and I don't know if anybody has any ideas. If anybody has any retreats, anything like that that they want me to work on, give me a shout because I'm open. I'm receptive to anything at the moment. Right. Okay. So this is for water signs. Mm-mm-mm. Water signs. The shake up for you this year, I feel, is going to be hugely connected to relationships. Okay. There is a box here that needs to be opened, and it's almost a bit like Pandora's box I'm being shown. The reason I'm being shown this, okay, and the reason they're saying this is you've got a key and there's somebody else got a key. And it needs two keys to open this box. I am doing water. This is water, Heidi. It needs two keys to open this box, okay? But there has to be the change of ideas, the change of heart in order to be able to do this. Sorry, this is how they're coming through. It's quite confusing because I feel this is quite confusing. So this is connected to relationships, okay? And I feel this is love and relationships. And it's almost transforming what you want or what you thought you wanted. So I feel that these things are going to change. You know, this could be somebody who has wanted to be a free spirit and live a polyamorous life, suddenly decided that they want to get married and settle down, and you know they want to bake bread and run off into the sunset together. You know, it's a complete like kind of 180, you know, 180 shift around relationships. I feel there could be children involved, or this could be the ideas that you've had from being a child. Okay, so water signs, I really feel look at your upbringing, look at what you learned about relationships when you were young, and see where that now doesn't fit into your idea or fit into your wants and needs. Because I feel with this, you're going to be guided to something, but what it's saying is you've got to go through that dark tunnel to get out the other side. Okay. So you've got to go deep, water signs. No doubt about it. It doesn't matter how much you try and put this out. This is the only way you're going to get through this. Okay. This might be looking at past relationships. It might be opening your heart to past relationships in a way that you can, where you've cut your heart off instead of getting hurt, you know, where you actually can open it and feel that pain, because then the pain can come out. Does that make sense? That's where the healing is. Um, there's a huge forgiveness coming for water signs as well. So I feel you have to forgive and let go a lot this year in order to step into this new way of relating, this new way of having relationships, and this new way of this is my truth. Okay. Your truth is going to change. Okay. I want your heart and your head to be in balance. It's not one or the other, you know. I mean, like I say, we've all had disappointments in the past, but it's how are you going to shape them? This is this molding that I was saying, you know, were you so right, okay, water signs. You look back at relationships in the past that you feel have damaged you, or that you have been a victim of, okay? And I want you to honestly look at it and say, what part did you play in it? What part did you play in this? You know, I'm not saying you've done it all, but what part did you play? Even if this is, I allowed it to go on for too long. Okay, own your part. Because unless we own our part, we're always going to be blaming the other. And when we forgive and take accountability and responsibility as well, this is when we set ourselves free. Okay. And this is what this is talking about: setting yourself free from this prison that you have put yourself in, or this box that is, this is how relationships should be. It's about opening it. There might be some stuff inside of it that isn't pretty, you don't want to see, but it will free you to actually get exactly what you want. This is the last bit, what you've got to go and do. Okay, you've been waiting a long time for this. Water signs, this is taking you to a spiritually safe place. Okay, a spiritually safe place where you can build, and where your future is secure and you have everything you need. Okay, but it's not going to happen until you do this work, because where you're looking at what's been rather than what could be. Okay, so there's a big shift in this, and if you want to share, you've got to share the responsibility of things not working as well. Does that make sense? Well, yeah, this is what it's saying, own it, own it, own it. And this is where you will really come into this big level of maturity. Okay, this is really, really going to help you when you can see it from a different angle. You can see the bigger picture rather than just focusing on that part where you were hurt. You can see where you hurt as well, maybe not maliciously or maybe not intentionally, but we all can hurt others, and we all have hurt others as well. So this is where I feel the key is going to be within water signs this year. Okay, it's relationships. I would say own it, own it, own it. Look at what resentments you're still holding towards exes. Look at what ideas you've got formed around relationships now. Look at where you're not trusting. Look at where you're not being fully 100% open, because if you're not fully 100% open, you can't expect somebody else to be open to you. Okay? We've got to be able to receive, to replicate what we want to receive. So, right, this is Earth. Earth signs. Right, Earth. Ooh, Earth signs. I just got in my head like pain, go away, come back another day. Yeah, what is happening for Earth signs this year? The theme, sorry, my back just got really like it needed to crack there. I feel this is significant with this. So we have to really transmute any pain that we are currently holding. There's a book by Gabor Mate called When the Body Says No, and it's all about that when your body starts to hurt or things start to happen to it, it's because there's some stored trauma in there that hasn't been resolved. And this is what I'm feeling within this. Now, this is quite interesting because for the past couple of months, and one of the reasons why I haven't been doing these videos is I am having immense pain within my body. I mean, literally I said to the doctor, I feel like the Tin Man. It's my whole body is seizing up. My bones, my everything, my pelvis is jammed, which is affecting my walk. And I've never had pain like it in my life. My body feels like stone. And I know that there is some trauma trapped there, but I can't seem to locate it. If anybody has any ideas about that, or anybody that does work on a somatic, energetic way, could you please let me know? Because like I say, I know it's telling me something, but whatever I'm trying isn't helping. So sorry for going off on that, but this is what it's coming out with within these readings. So this old pain within earth signs is going to have to be transmuted. There is something where this could actually, there could be sickness. Now remember, with earth signs, especially Virgo, it's Virgo is the healer, and it's healer, heal thyself, you know. So we've got to look at this. We can be grounded, but what is it that actually is kind of, what is it that we're not releasing? What pain is it that we're not giving that out? You know, it might have gone down, it might have gone down into our roots, but we haven't fully released it. And what this is saying is it's a time to remove that block. It's almost like I feel pull the plug on. Now, I feel this with earth signs. If anybody has been getting problems within their jaw, they're showing me, like down their jaw here, down the jaw and down into the back of the neck, earth signs. This is saying that this pain is there that needs to be released. Okay, so that is, don't think it's anything wrong with your teeth or anything like that. It's this stored trauma, they're saying, there for some reason. Right, okay, they're saying here cupping. I don't know if anybody's tried cupping. They're saying cupping could be beneficial for this, as well as acupuncture, because what they're saying here is it's like it's almost, what is important here is actually saying that it's time to address it, time to say, okay, this is it. Something needs to be done. It's not about just getting on. Now, earth signs often just get on, get on, get on. You know, we've got Taurus, we've got Capricorn, we've got Virgo, and they just get on. They're the ones everybody relies on. You know, they're the safe, the steady, the solid ones. But what this is saying is it's no. You've got to say, I am not feeling good. I am not okay. You know, can I have support, please? Can I have help, please? So this is what is going to be hard for earth signs, because they're used to the fight and they're used to fighting the way through. What they're saying here is stopping the fight is what is important and what is going to see you through this year, because this year has a lot to do with a lot to do with the direction that we're going to go in, and a lot to do with not just getting on with things, okay? Because when we're getting on with things, we're not. We might give ourselves the illusion that we are, but we're not. And it's going to catch up with us in the long run. So I would say that earth signs really, really, you know, it's your health is your most important. Anything that makes you feel off, stop doing it. Okay, stop doing it straight away. This is saying to you, we've got to get back in the flow. Okay, in the flow, earth signs. It's almost like what they're showing me there is like a parched land. You know, when you go to like these places and you know there's been no rain and there's been droughts for years and the ground is just like rock hard. Nothing can grow there. Nothing is fertile. You know, it's not this lovely soft earth. What I'm seeing here is you are, and I don't know if some of you are severely dehydrated, because this is what it's showing me. It's almost the cracks are starting to appear. And there's this need for like this oasis place, a place of nourishment, a place where you can actually submerge yourself and get this fullness. There's a nourishment needed. Okay, now I know this is really bizarre, okay, what they're saying to me here, and I don't know about this. I don't even know if you could get this or where you could get it. There's a need for like raw milk. So this is raw milk that nothing has been done for it. Nothing has been, it hasn't been pasteurized. It hasn't been anything. It's almost like straight from the cow kind of thing. Because there's this, it's all to do, when a child, the child just needs their mother's milk, to actually, it's got all of the nutrients and everything within it. That's what I feel within this, but there's something that is knocking the flow off for earth signs. And with this, I feel that there's a 3 glasses of water an hour. I don't know how long for. 3 glasses of water in an hour. Okay, that's what they're saying there. And they're like, be near the sea or be near water if possible as well. And be where you feel safe. Okay, this is what it's saying. Earth signs, what has gone on or what is still lingering within your life where you don't feel safe? Think about it. What area of your life is it? Your home? Is it your housing? Is it your relationships? Is it your career? What is it? Where is it you don't feel safe with? Because what they're saying here, it's almost like they're showing me, when you put 10 pegs down, it's like what do they call it in Bedouin? Is it Bedouin? Where they're in the desert. And that's really interesting because somebody said to me that I should move to Dahab, which is actually a little Bourdain. No, I get Anthony Bourdain. But how do you say it? Oh, this is going to be one of them words that I can't get. Bourdain. Right. I don't know, but it's like the nomadic Arabs, and they have the tents and they just put them down. So it's these tent pegs. That is what's important. That feeling of safety, that feeling of security. Because I feel, and what this is saying is that, there has been drama or there has been anxiety. Okay. And this is what is coming, like I say, in the jaw again. I'm feeling that as soon as I start to read into this again. And it's almost like you've shut down, you've shut down. Everything has just turned to stone. And this is what needs to be. You need to soften. I would advise yoga, Pilates, belly dancing, something like that, something where you actually get into movement. Okay, something where you can actually move the innards around. That sounds bizarre. Yeah, it's like everything needs to be moved around, and also this will actually be so much easier for you on the mind as well. Okay, so it's saying earth signs that there's a lot to do with clearing the mind, clearing the body. Okay, mind, body, soul. That's what's really important. And it's almost like I feel earth signs, there has been a lack of love. Okay, a lack of love. Where are you? You might be giving it, but are you receiving it? Okay, even if you get this from a cat or a dog or something like that, if there's no humans here, where are you getting this? Where is there this lack of love? And what do you need to do to change this situation so that you can receive this? This is almost like, somebody mentioned before about abandoned, and when I'm reading this earth signs, it's almost like I'm seeing like an abandoned baby that is malnutritioned and, needs looking after. It really needs somebody to take it in and go, whoa, here you go. This is triggering me like fuck. I just got to say this to you when I'm actually reading this. This is really hard. I'm a Virgo, and this is really triggering for me because I am one of these people that, when I need care, I tend to push it away. And I know that this is where it's like, yeah, okay, I kind of need a cuddle. I need somebody to say there. And I hate admitting that, but that is the vulnerability. of where things are, and that is the doing the work as well. I need support within this. So earth signs, if you can say, I need support, things are not okay, then this is going to help them to be okay, if that makes sense. So it's almost like I feel that there's a lot of I don't know if there's mother issues coming up with this with earth signs as well, okay? But I want to say that this is a time to end them, to end them, to free yourself of them, to free yourself of that which is holding you back, okay? This year is that's it. It's gone. It no longer has that power over you. It no longer has that power, um, that control over you as well. I see as we get into October, is going to be a really great year for you. A really great year. Earth signs. A lot of creation, but the safety has to come before the creation, if that makes sense. So it's like I say, it's every day. Bring love in every day. And thank you for that, Stephen. Only love today, because that used to be my mantra forever. And, I have to admit that it hasn't been for the last couple of months. So thank you so much for actually reminding me of that. And this is it, every day, that little bit of love. Have you had your love today? Take it like vitamins, no matter where you go, even if it's out and you've got to stroke a dog, that dog will give you love. And this is what you've got to learn to do. You can't be the one holding everybody up when you are actually falling, earth signs. So this is where you need to open your heart, you need to open your mouth, and you need to be open to healing. Okay, you will not be judged. The only person that will judge you for this is yourself. Okay, so you're stepping in the way of your own happiness. But yeah, it's like I say, this is just nourishing stuff. Things that are colorful, eat color, eat color. I once done a diet, ridiculous, and this is, I can't do diets. I've had eating disorders in the past, and so I can't do this. But I've tried every single one going. And there was a one I done where you weren't allowed to eat any beige or brown food. They were the rules. So anything that was beige or brown, you weren't allowed to eat it. And it was so bizarre how a lot of the foods that aren't good for you are beige or brown. Why would we want to have that? When we've got all these beautiful reds and greens and oranges and stuff like that. And they're saying to me there, and I don't know why they're saying to me, traffic light, eat traffic light. So it's like red, orange, green. Red, orange, green. They're saying. I don't know if that makes sense. Any nutritionists will know there. But yeah, so I feel with earth signs, it's a time to rebalance your body. Okay, your body, your hormones, your vitamins, your all of this. It's like an inner rebalancing you need in order for your life to balance as well. At the moment, I feel you're blocked. Um, I feel this could be to do with grief of some sort. I don't feel this is recent grief. I feel this is stored grief. Yeah, so it's from a while ago. And I feel sorry. Breath work. I feel breath work is very important. If you can find a breath work practitioner, and I also feel that there's something to do with childbirth, something like that. There's some grief connected to that in some way. Now, this might not even be yours. This could be your parents, that's carried on. I'm going to stop that there because they're going really deep into that. And like I say, this isn't just a reading for earth signs, but I hope that helps. And yeah, it's like I say, I feel breath work would be massively helpful for you to release. Okay, so um right, okay, so who have we got left? Who is the last ones? I've done water, I've done fire, I've done earth, so I've air. Right, okay, so this is air. Air. Right. Air. Right. Right, okay, this is interesting. So what I'm getting with this, right, is it's like you've got your foot on the accelerator, but it's also on the brake as well. So it's like this jarring motion. I'm getting, you ever done that when you're like driving along the road and the car goes like kind of kangaroo, you know? And this is it. It's you're wanting to go forward too much, or not even too much. You really want it. You want to go forward. You want to move on. You want to get to where life is good again. Life seems simpler, but there is something in the way that isn't allowing you to get there. Okay. I want to say, I'm asking there what is in the way, and they're saying you. So sorry about that. Your own thoughts around this. This is what's in the way. So this year for you is very much of the mind. Okay. I'm just trying to think. So fire was of the heart, wasn't it? What was water? What was water? I can't remember. There was a theme to that. Earth was rebalancing the body, and air here is coming in with the mind, okay? Which obviously air is connected to the mind. But what it's saying here is that the mind has been too stubborn and the mind is too rigid in order for you to get what it is that you want by using the mind to get there. Okay, so the mind is just bringing trouble, there may be trouble ahead, there may be trouble in the head. That's why they're singing that to me. I love it when they come out with stuff like that. So that's it, there's trouble if you go too much into your head. So you have, as I said before, be the gatekeeper of your mind. Have a look, is this thought helpful? Is this thought just keeping me stuck? Or is this thought allowing me to be more flexible? Because what I feel within this, I feel that there is a huge battle internally. Okay, this is very kind of Gemini energy in here. And it's what is right, what is the truth, what is the da da da. And I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna make sure that I prove it. Okay. This isn't about proving anything. All you do there is prove that you're shut down and one track mind, and that you're not flexible and not open to anything. If we are not flexible, that is when we can break easier. So what this is saying is really like almost opening that door that's been put down, okay, and allowing the mind to, I want to kind of, I don't want to say anybody's been brainwashed, okay, but what I'm being shown there is like there's so much water being put on the mind and it getting like proper, when you go to the hairdressers and they give you a really, really good like hair wash, and there's all the lush soap and it smells good and stuff like that. Like I want to do that to your mind. There, with air signs here, there is so much that is ingrained in the mind that is stopping you from moving forward and being who you are meant to be, or who you can be, or living the life that you could live. Okay, so it's almost like I feel tied up in emotions here. There's this feeling of not being able to feel emotions, being taught to shut off, being taught to win, being taught to be what's right, rather than actually going, like things are not cool. I'm struggling, I need help, I'm in pain. All of these things are valid to be able to say. But within this, it's saying that you're not, or you haven't been free to say them. So within your mind, you, even the way I've gone like that, it's almost like military, you know? I love how it's almost like military, like, yes, sir, do you know what I mean? I'll do that. And, if we look at the military, they don't teach people to be caring and compassionate. They teach people to kill people, and say that they're doing it for their country. But I'm not getting into that because, that's another thing. I know there's people in the military that are there for good reasons, So I was just being flippant there. But that's about shutting down our emotions. And I feel that what is needed here is, it's almost, you need a coax, and you need somebody that can allow you to do this. Maybe a coach, maybe a therapist, something like that, because I feel that it's time now. It's time for you to actually, start to do this work on yourself, because, this is where you're going to get the rewards. This is where you are going to actually, have this recognition for the self as well, and this is where your relationships and everything are going to be working better. If you're still working from the mind and old conditioning patterns, you're never going to be able to move forward, and this is asking you to really go deep into your soul and become who you were before the world told you who you should be. There's a big lesson in this year. It might be a bit of a painful lesson, but I feel the pain has already been. But it's almost like, I don't feel you've talked about it. I don't feel you've spoken about it. I don't feel you fully released this. So I feel that you're still carrying this. So it's, I want you to trust, I want you to believe, believe in magic, believe in, things don't have to be facts. Like, some things can't be proven, and that's okay. Somebody I was talking to last night, they asked me how the tarot works, and I said, I don't know. I just know that it does. I stopped trying to figure out how it works, and I just allow it to work now. So this is where I feel there is massive healing within you when this level of control is dropped. You don't have to be in control, you don't have to be controlled. Okay, it's like, our birthright is to be happy, our birthright is to be free. And I feel somewhere along the line you've been told that that is wrong. And I'm telling you that this is right. This is where you will feel that feeling of, you know, um, that feeling of safety, that feeling of, what? Wholeness that you've been searching for. You won't find it in the mind. You definitely won't find it in the mind. And what this is saying is that this is a time for you to learn. This is a time for you to learn pretty much what love is as well. That song's playing in my head, that what is it? I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. This is playing, because I feel there's this, like, what's that song? The circles of your mind. What is it? Like the windmills of the mind or something? That's what I'm feeling. It's very, very of the mind here, air signs, and it's almost, I really would say some spiritual practice would be good for you if you believe in it or be open to it, because that's the thing. It's like, you've got to go where you haven't been, because you haven't found the answers yet. So you've got to go somewhere where you haven't been in order to find them. Um, and I feel that August is going to be very important within this. Okay. Um, Even if you start maybe going to a moon circle or something like that, bringing spirituality in just in little bits. I don't want you to go full on and do a full ayahuasca ceremony or something, but if if that comes up, then I wouldn't say no. I would say, I mean, if you haven't already, and I don't want to advocate this, but look into plant medicine, look into microdosing, look into stuff like that, because what this does is it allows us to change like kind of the neural pathways within our brains so we don't go down the old route again. And it allows us to be more open with our thinking and with our mind. Okay. And this is what I feel, it's the exploration of the mind that is important for air signs. Okay, because you need to be able to look at things. They say if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Okay, and this is exactly what is coming through with this. It's not about fighting, it's not about putting barriers up here, it's about making a choice to bring balance into your life, to bring spirituality into your life, to bring a clear mind and to bring happiness there without actually mistrusting it, without actually judging it, and without actually misbelieving in it. Okay. Um, it's coming. I want to say that I feel this could happen as well. And I don't like to say things like this, but it's coming through. So I do need to say it. There could be a loss of some sort. Okay. But I want to say this isn't I mean, all losses, can be tragic, but this is somebody who's lived their life. It's not something, a life being cut short. It's like I say, we're all on this earth for a period of time. I don't feel it's earth air signs that this is going to happen to. It's somebody that they know, so it could be like the loss of a grandfather or something like that. I feel like a male figure, or somebody, could even be an old school teacher that was, that really left something with you. But it's somebody who's old. It's kind of like a natural death. It's nothing bad, so please don't worry about that. I don't like to predict death, but what this is saying is that there's some sort of loss that then sparks this way of, what, like, I need to get more into my feels than, into my thinks. you know could be somebody, you could be watching a program of somebody who is, somebody who's famous, who's passing on, who goes, whoa, this is the way I used to think and now I think like this. So it's like I say, it's nothing bad. It's actually very healing and very transformative within your life as well. Okay. So yeah, go where you're guided rather than where you're pushed, if that makes sense. So that's it. That's it. I'm done. How long have I been on? An hour and 42 minutes. Thanks, Tanya. Grief for the living is something was more painful than for the dead. That's my struggle. Yeah, it is. And, the reason being there is because we look at that more as a rejection. Good night, Irene. When somebody passes on, they're gone, and when somebody, chooses to leave a relationship or something like that, they're still there. And I think now even more so, we have social medias, we have stuff like that. It's very hard to cut that person out, and it is very, very, very hard, very hard. But you do get through it. You do, it's just one day you suddenly wake up and it doesn't hurt as much anymore. But it's just every day trying to accept how it is. Feel your feelings all the way through. Don't allow others to badmouth this person, or to, because this is somebody who you once saw still do love. So trying to come to an acceptance without without adding more pain to it, and just saying that, this might not be final, it might be, but trying to nurture yourself through it as well. That can often help. And heartbreak is hard, but heartbreak hasn't killed anybody. We don't die from heartbreak. We don't. And often when our heart's breaking, it's actually opening so we can let pain out as well. Yeah, and a strange time can't really be let go of. It can't, but you can accept. Sorry, you can try and accept, that that is the choice that that person has made. That doesn't stop you from sending love to them. You know, it doesn't. And I understand, how hard that must be, but it's letting them go with love. If that is their choice, then love is accepting other people's choices as well. But send love to them at every opportunity. It will get there on a higher level. Right. Okay, guys. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope it made some sense. Like I say, if anybody does want to work with me, either readings, a 3-month program, which is a group program, coaching, or my 6-month program, which is the deep dive. I mean, that's the biggie, the daddy of it, but amazing results from them. So yeah, please send me an email at the link below, and I will be sending out more details after the 12th of January for that. Okay, so like I say, spaces are very limited. So if you do want it, then please get in touch. So has anybody got any questions or anything before I go? Anybody? Anything anybody's getting for this year, 2023? Any questions that I can answer while I'm here? No. I'm sending love back to Ireland for you. No. Right, okay then. That's it. I'm gonna go. So have a great new year. Enjoy the next couple of days, no matter what it is that you do, and try and just do nothing and just be and see how it feels. Um, and like I say, it's not about like, oh, this year this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, and everything. It's this year, how is it you want to feel? As I've said, this is about you. This is about you. So, don't make it about all these big lavish things that you're going to do. How are you going to be? And I feel that is so important. It's not what you're going to do, it's how you're going to be. Okay? Send you all lots of love. Satnam.